Yo, what's going on gamers? It's Ryan 6 days a week, and we now have officially received a confirmed date for the upcoming Dark and Darker wipe, as it is currently planned to happen on June 7th, according to Iron Mace lead developer SDF. Now, along with this Discord confirmation, Iron Mace released a hotfix that revealed this season's cosmetic rewards and hosted a spontaneous mini Q&A that we'll cover in this video. Let's first begin by going over the key points of the hotfix. To start, players can unlock some new season exclusive skins based on their end of season rank. If you end with a rank of Pathfinder on any character, you'll receive an account-wide Frost Walker skin. Voyager, the Frozen Torch skin. For Exemplar, the Ice Flame Campfire skin. And for Demigod, the Frozen Bottle Potion skins. The deadline for these rank rewards is May 31st. That's when the season ends. You can check out the thumbnails of the skins in the leaderboard tab on the main menu if you'd like. If you don't want to play High Roller, there are also some other cosmetic rewards available that can be unlocked through various vendor quests. Right now, if you complete the Collector quest line, you can unlock a Frost Skeleton skin that exchanges movement speed for weapon damage, a coin flip in-game emote for completing the Goblin Merchant quest line, and a Flask-styled ale skin for completing the Tavern Master quest line. I'm not entirely sure if the deadline to complete these quests also lands on May 31st, when the leaderboard season ends, or if they'll instead end on June 7th with Wipe. But these quests are very much a grind, so I would suggest you start them as soon as you can if you want these cosmetic items. Now, in terms of actual game changes with this update, Iron Mace added more chat functionality, including the ability to whisper and text chat your team in-game, a dungeon recovery service, which gives you a small chance to buy back any gear piece that is left unlooted on your character's corpse at the end of the round through the Goblin Merchant, and some UI updates to help players understand stat scaling and item gear score. There's also a rework of the inventory system on just the back end to prepare for some larger updates next season. So, as of now, everything will look the same when you hit tab, but I do think these back end changes will become more apparent when they add in the quivers and backpacks that were discussed some time ago. Now, let's take a look at SDF's spontaneous Q&A, which happened in the Discord just before the hotfix hit. First, it looks like the Frost Wyvern will be an actual fightable boss next wipe if all goes according to plan. He also stated that the new map should be available on wipe, so expect the Ice Abyss to be accessible through the Ice Caverns on June 7th. Next, it sounds like the return of runes may be delayed due to the focus of other development areas. I'm unsure if this meant that it is delayed until wipe happens, or if this meant it won't come back until much later after wipe. The wording here was vague, but I personally don't think we'll see the return of runes by wipe, unfortunately. While we're on the topic of maps, it also sounds like the team is interested in testing the removal of the Dark Swarm elsewhere in-game. They seem to have gotten good data from their experiment with the blizzard in the Ice Caverns, so we may see some new end-of-round mechanics soon on the current and future maps. Taking the broad scope of things, this does make sense since SDF did state that the current game loop needs some diversity, which I do agree with. Almost all my matches now, especially since we're at the end of the season, have felt more like a battle royale opposed to a dungeon crawler. I mean, in the game's current state, the only existing endgame content is PvP. To add to this, it does sound like SDF is interested in creating more non-PvP dungeon experiences and is specifically interested in adding fishing. This excites me since I think it's a great idea that Iron Mace wants to explore other aspects of the game. Again, I do think that the fantasy style PvP is the most important and attractive aspect of Dark and Darker, but I think everyone can appreciate more things to do in general in-game. And hey, having cool things to do in the dungeon, like fishing, will create contestable points of interest, which ultimately encourages even more player combat interactions and, well, a fight for resources. Next, SDF hinted that he is quite interested in randomly generated dungeon modules and mob spawns down the line, which I do hope he means wandering bosses and random events as well, to really diversify the dungeon experience. I know a lot of you have been pitching some cool ideas, like a small chance that a loot goblin scurrying around the crypts appears, or even an in-dungeon wandering merchant, which exchanges exclusive items for players' souls. But this is something much down the line, and we shouldn't expect to see this at all next wipe. Finally, it looks like treasures will be removed from the adventure point scoring next season, which I imagine is done to further encourage fighting opposed to just looting. So the majority of your adventure rank will consist of what you kill with a smaller amount coming from actually opening chests and looting. Now, this is a pretty short Q&A, so there wasn't much exact info given on what we can expect on wipe day, but I imagine we'll get some more details by next week with the end of the leaderboard season. For those who are way out of the loop, Iron Mace is going to be featured in this year's Summer Games Fest happening on June 7th, coinciding with the wipe. And we should expect some big news regarding a main marketplace release around that time as well, I'd expect. Well, at this current time, I can confidently say Epic is in the picture, as their store page is updated, or Dark and Darker, but as for Steam, I'm not too sure yet. Not saying it's completely off the table, I just don't have any evidence that it is coming out with next wipe. Steam has always been part of Iron Mace's plan, but I don't know when it will happen. Alright gamers, I wish I had more concrete information on what is all happening on wipe day 2 weeks from today, but this is the best we have for now. If I get more news on what is to come, I will share it with you all as soon as I can. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.